childhood situation has affected lovers currently?
Someone just told me sometimes about that. I think you're still a junior.
Everything revolves around money. The love thing, then it's for me. It's not my
They'll think that, how do I come from where I was not being beaten
To where now?
to where now beating is the order of the day?
Podcast we're doing for men's catch-up meeting that we do at the end of every month. We had a very interesting one last month, and but this time around, you guys are welcome. I'm having my friend Ambrose. Ambrose Paradox. He calls himself Paradox.
Yes, paradox.
Yeah, and my bro here. Just tell us your name.
Alan Odo.
Orlando.
Eric.
And Eric is right here. Now, guys, we're going to talk about a very simple thing, but a very interesting topic to talk about when it comes to now of a man, fatherhood, when it comes to responsibilities and a lot of things. And that one is childhood situation. I know we understand very well when we talk about childhood situation. And we are going to compare childhood situation and how your upbringing was in relationship to you now. You're big, you have responsibilities to carry, you are a father, and you have to do those fatherly duties. But before we go there, talking of childhood situation, all of us, maybe Eric is going to start. Your understanding when you talk about childhood situation, unresolved, let me just put it like unresolved childhood situation. What do you understand by that?
Childhood unresolved situation is to me, I would say some of the things that probably when you're growing up, you'll be like, hey, I want to be this, when I grew up I want to be a doctor, and then you end up hustling somewhere. Yeah, like a very different career path. So some of those things, I believe some of these situations that that when we were growing up we wanted to be this and this and this. Probably when you don't become that person, that's when
you call it unresolved.
Yeah.
The things that you could have gone through that left an impact in your life. So maybe it could be how we grew up, how we were treated by maybe the family members or friends, and sometimes it could even go as far as, in my opinion, even the names that probably we were being called. In schools, when we were pupils or students, for that matter, you find that there are names that probably they give you in your childhood. Some of those names are not pleasant. And even now, you still continue meeting your friends that you grew up with.
And they still call you that name.
They still continue calling you that name. Which to you think you're past that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there were children probably who I could give an example, who were urinating on the bed. And they give you a funny name because of that.
Yeah.
And then when you meet as an adult and now you have a family, you have children, and they still refer to you in that situation. So I feel it is unresolved trauma that you have gone through as a child that still affects you as an adult. It has left an impact in your life. That's my thinking.
One of the example could be bullying in school. Another example could be parental substance abuse. When you have a father or probably a mother who always come back home and you start, there's fight everywhere, quarrel, the home is very disorganized. Those are some of the things that when you grow up and then you think about some of those things in your life personally, you think like, this is how my parents grew up. So when you're trying to go into those directions, you'll be like, I think probably maybe we are meant to be that way. Yeah, you understand? But then instead of it triggering you to live the other way around, you'll be like, in fact, you may end up giving up because you have seen it what happening in your family, and you feel like maybe it's a curse or like it's something that is in the lineage.
Let us try to relate the situation that we undergo or underwent, or not us, but children went through, and now they are adults and their fathers. As a father, how does this unresolved situation in your childhood, how does it affect you? A father, generally, being a father.
It could be a learning for you
Okay.
as a father. For example, if you have gone through hell during your childhood, it could be a learning for you if you're a resilient person.
Yeah.
That I have to guard against these things not to affect your children. But also in the other way, it could also trickle down to your children in a way that you could carry on. In the sense that probably you will not be able to handle the situation, like we had talked about, for example, people who probably had challenges with the domestic violence and what. As a father, you might think that it is the right way to solve issues. And also you start solving issues the wrong way. So me, I think those are two ways. Either as a person, because now you'll be traumatized. A small thing will trigger you and you'll be annoyed and you end up into a fight and or you'd think that since I've gone through this, none of my children should now go through that. And you put mechanisms of seeing that these things should end with me.
End with you.
If you have an abusive relationship, you say, no, this I should have the best family.
Okay.
I should be able to take care of my children.
Okay. Getting back to Alan, you've been understanding, you know what, as a father, unresolved childhood situation, how does it affect?
Yeah, I wanted to start with an example. Yeah, when I was growing up, I grew up in a family where my father takes alcohol. But when he takes alcohol, he's very happy. He wants everything to happen. He doesn't want anything wrong to happen in the family. Anyone who is passing, pass by here, you come and eat, come and eat. Everything.
Happy parent.
Whether food is there, whether food is not there.
Just first come and eat.
Just come. He's very happy. But the brother is again the opposite.
The opposite.
He's very abusive. So for him, when he takes alcohol, he come and stand by near our place, and he can shout, just be abusing everyone who is in the other compound, without any reason. So in that scenario, sometimes if you're a child and some of those things you are not reminded that in future if you follow this very trend, you end up in this trap. Sometimes you don't even realize it. Yeah, because you end up thinking how your parent has been behaving. That is how life should be. Yeah, because in that very example, now the son to the other abusive parent actually has picked the wrong one more than even the father. So you find that some of those things need a reminder earlier for you to realize it, to drop those things earlier. So with adulthood, always the grooming starts from a childhood. Yeah, because for you to start understanding how a parent or how a father should behave or how a father should do other things, yeah, it brings it to what Zambra said. Come see how we make money here. So some of those things need earlier preparation. Yeah, in a way that someone when he's growing will be understanding that this is how things should be done, but the right one, not the other way around, thinking when you are an adult now you can take alcohol, you can go and abuse people.
Okay. this dates back to even how the person grows up.
Yes.
You see, maybe you did not grow a very peaceable life. Things were not okay with you. And now little things pulls back the trauma. And then, boom, you see, even beating wives, beating women is also part of this. Because some men can cane the children to the level that you be like, what is happening? Are you beating an adult or just a child? You see that? So it's a lot of behaviors that are now portrayed and can trace back to how someone was brought up. Let me hear from Eric.
Then when you're growing up, they told you have to do what? In fact, you're not supposed to cry out your issues loud. You understand that? Because
just manage.
You are a man, you're not supposed to cry. You understand that? But in a real situation, as a man, by the way, sometimes you need to cry because it will help you a lot. What do I mean by this? When I say you need to cry is when you're having a challenge, crying could be in tears or could be going to a friend, probably
sharing your heart,
sharing your heart to someone so that you can be helped openly. So sometimes we feel like what? Some people feel ashamed of sharing their problems because when you're growing up, like there was no one to talk to because you were not given that opportunity. So when now a grown-up man, you feel like maybe I need to carry on with this. Probably would help, but in the long run, it's not helping anymore.
Playing it cool and yet it's an issue is a very big matter. It's a very big matter that somehow we need to see that. I mean, let's open up. Share your heart. Cry.
As a father, you can
break down and cry once in a while. We'll not talk more on that because of time. Now, let's look into unresolved childhood situation. Let's relate this to lovers.
What they call love is the only that. It's not yours, and it's for people who are meant for. And to make it work, 10 years ago, I think I was deep in the village, where you find that these things of relationship was not up to date, the way you see it is right now. And that relationship wasn't that much for money in the aspect of making decisions. I find that I want to love everyone who comes across. But in real life, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Definitely.
Because someone just told me sometimes back that I think you're still a junior. All these things has a junior school. And
A lady told you you're still a junior?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you insisting on that point? No, we need to understand. The lady told the person who told
you're still an amateur. So you need to grow via all those things. So when you reach some state, there you start understanding how things should work. So that thing, it lowered my esteem via relationship. So I started seeing relationship as a very big matter. Not knowing that Pato was using the other option. That I didn't know.
the money.
Yeah. With the relationship.
I never used money.
Yeah.
We have lovers who can break up today, even now. Then they go and think about it and reconcile tomorrow. And even ladies have mastered. I know this guy. Let him go. He's going to come back. I want to relate that to what? To childhood upbringing. And then we have the mean men who in turn made up this association. They called it what? The smart. Because when you were growing up, you possibly things were scarce. You talk of poverty, things were scarce. You rarely see like money. You rarely see paper money. Everywhere is coin, and even it's very rare to see those coins. So spending, like you're saying, I never knew people were using money to win hearts. I was So you realize the childhood unresolved poverty, which was an issue back then. You grew up with the poverty mind. Now your girl is demanding you to buy fish. It's a trouble.
You need to go and
take me out for pork. It's trouble. Now when they ask you for money, you'll disappear for 1 month. then you call with an excuse. Sorry, baby, my phone has issues.
Stingy man.
Now, it is dating back to what? It is dating back to possibly how you grew up with the issue of money and things. And then Alan talked of trust. You never trusted anybody when you were young. Trust me, you cannot trust people now. We have exhausted it properly. We'll love punching words from all of us because we have something to say, and Alan said we'll crown it up.
At least you need a woman to be there to support you, like emotionally, sometimes even financially. Because sometimes when you're done, in fact, when you're down, you need someone to talk to you. Understand that?
Yeah. Letting a child to get exposed to how the world is.
If you realize that probably there is a childhood kind of trauma that is still following up, still following you, in my opinion, I think you need to recognize that.